Hey everybody, it's Jordan from don'tbuythehype.blogspot.com here on a sad and strange day for college football fans. Over an hour ago, NCAA President Mark Emmert leveled sanctions against the Penn State football program for the Jerry Sandusky scandal, plus its cover-up. I'll talk more about the penalties and what they are exactly here in just a couple of minutes in case you missed it. But you know, it's been a strange, especially the last couple of days for college football fans. I wondered kind of back and forth whether or not President Emmert even had the jurisdiction to go and sanction Penn State. Obviously, the NCAA Executive Committee, the presidents thought that he did. So they made a judgment pretty swiftly in this case. Whether or not you think they had the authority to do so, that's up to you. I think there were some good sanctions that came out of this and some that were not so good. First of all, for the sanctions and what they were, the first one, which I think is a great penalty for Penn State, is a $60 million fine to be put into an endowment for kind of therapy and treatment for child sex abuse victims. If anything, I think this is going to be one of the punishments that was handed down that does have some good. It will go to support child abuse victims around the country. And I think that is just a small price to pay for the institutional cover-up across the board that Penn State had over this matter. That kind of is separate from the football program. The other sanctions have to do directly with the football program. First of all, there is a 4-year ban on postseason play. Obviously that's for bowls. The possibly Big Ten championship play, but after you hear what they did scholarship-wise, they're not going to be playing for those anyway anytime soon. But a 4-year ban on any postseason play, and then the other one is the reduction in scholarships. Over the next 4 years, they're going to have to reduce from 25 scholarships per year to 15 for a max total of 65 instead of the regular 85. This, in effect, will really destroy the Penn State football program. Playing with 20 less scholarship players is just going to be brutal. It's kind of interesting. Last night, as part of the 24-hour marathon they had on the ESPN 30 for 30, they replayed Pony Excess, which I've now seen 2 or 3 times, about the SMU program. And it's eerily similar how this is shaken down to how the SMU program was leveled. Obviously, there's no death penalty here. Penn State will play on, but the quality of play here is going to be downsized immensely. Scholarship-wise, they're really on par with FCS schools, the old 1AA schools. I don't see how, now that they said that all current players are free to transfer and be immediately eligible at other schools. You'd have to think all the top talent, especially the talent that has NFL prospects, they're going to be headed to other schools. It'll be interesting to see how many coaches are flying into State College and trying to get these players over the next couple of days to transfer to their schools, and they can be immediately eligible to play in this upcoming football season. As far as Penn State football is concerned, this is a penalty that's going to take probably a good 7 to 10, if not more, years to recover from. I feel bad for the current people that are there with the program, especially head coach Bill O'Brien and his assistants. They certainly did not sign up for any of this. They weren't around when any of this happened. The players that were here, they had nothing to do with this. That's with the scholarship reduction. I hate to see that because they really are destroying the program. All the folks that were associated with this cover-up are either, honestly, they're either in prison, they're out of a job, or in Coach Paterno's case, they're not with us anymore. It's fair to say that they're going to pay their price. Not to mention probably the hundreds of millions of dollars in lawsuits that they're going to be facing in civil court. It's a sad day because Penn State was a storied program. Even though there's been a lot of kind of shadiness behind the scenes, we see with all this. Not so much their per se noble image. But they were a good football team. It's going to be interesting to see how that shakes down in the Big Ten. They're going to go back to probably the back of the pack. I mean, I could see with 65 scholarships, they're probably going to be worse than Indiana. Sorry, Hoosier fans, but it's going to be interesting to see what the fallout of all this is. And moving forward, look over the next couple of weeks. Pay attention, see which players are going to be transferring to other schools. There's a lot of talent at Penn State. One thing that's kind of remained constant is Penn State has put players in the NFL. Not at the rate that they used to, but there are still NFL caliber players that are there at Penn State. Those kids are going to be moving on to other schools. Whatever your school affiliation is, your coaches may be there right now in State College trying to get those players to come to your school. Pay attention to see where those players move. In the long term, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. Will the current coaching staff, will they take their medicine and stay? Obviously they're kind of locked in this year. Will Bill O'Brien look to move somewhere else? It's all in all just a sad situation for everyone involved. If you look at this, there are no winners. Even the people, the torch carriers, they're wanting heads on platters. They even see that this is tough for the school and for their fans. Penn State has an extremely loyal fan base. They really are going to have nothing to cheer for in the future, or at least in the foreseeable future. Think about all the other Penn State athletes that don't play football. Football is their major moneymaker. It's not going to be what it was. Will they have to reduce scholarships in those areas? The whole athletic budget is going to be completely rewritten. So think about the women's swim team, or the women's basketball team, men's basketball team, baseball. Whatever the auxiliary sports they have are not going to be funded because of the fines they're having to pay, plus just the total reduction in overall value of the football program. So just some things to think about moving forward. But again, just a sad and a strange day. Obviously this kind of takes a lot of people back 25 years ago to SMU. Other than shutting the football program, this is as heavy as a team has ever been sanctioned since SMU was given the death penalty. So again, guys, sad day, strange day. Don't buy the hype.